Everything's gonna be all right. As long as you stay tuned to Just Chillin' with Len Collins.
Welcome to Just Chillin', the City of Cleveland Health Education issues relevant to today's teens. I'm also your host, and tonight we're talking about giving back. We'll take your phone and questions after the break. Thank you. Good evening. Can you guys introduce yourself to Cleveland?
My name is Alice Trimble with the Amen Project.
Okay, young lady next to you.
I'm Lois Jones with the Center for AIDS Research at Case Western Reserve and also with the Amen Project.
I'm Pam O'Neill with the Amen Project.
Okay, Pam, beginning with you, can you give our audience a little background information about yourself and then the Amen Project?
I'm a business owner. I have an advertising and marketing agency in Strongsville, Ohio. And the Amen Project started out of a desire among myself and some friends to give back to the community by creating some kind of awareness campaign. We felt our youth weren't really getting it, that HIV/AIDS is killing people in the black community. So we got together and put together a nonprofit organization. The name of the nonprofit organization is Psalms Incorporated, and our product is the Amen Project.
Okay, Lois, a little background information about you and your position.
Right now I'm the administrator at the Center for AIDS Research at Case Western Reserve University, and we kind of bring together community members and researchers and physicians who deal with HIV and AIDS in all communities throughout the Cleveland area. And we kind of teamed up with Amen as part of our outreach arm. So we help them with their events.
You've been involved in other HIV/AIDS awareness programs?
Right.
Such as
Sam. Sam was the beginning for me with Dr. Cargill back in the day, back in 1994. Stopping AIDS is my mission. Right now, Sam is with the AIDS Task Force of Greater Cleveland. I also do some volunteer work with them and sit on a few of their boards, as well as the Regional Advisory Committee and other HIV boards, the North Coast AIDS Coalition, and they keep me busy.
Okay, young lady here.
My name is Alice Trimble. I work with Amen, and I work with securing advertising from different sources out in the community for our events.
Okay, let's talk for a moment. Why is this project so important, and why is it important for you guys to give back? Everybody answer that question.
Well, the project is near and dear to my heart because I love black people. I have a son who's 19, and he's at a very at-risk age where he's just, well, let's hope he hasn't experimented too much sexually, but all of our youth need to be taught that, to protect themselves, and we know that they're going to engage in sex, so we can talk about abstinence, but that's probably not going to happen. So what we should do is be educating them to how to reduce the risk of them catching, HIV/AIDS and spreading it to someone else. So I'm involved because I care about our youth coming up, and I'm very concerned about the numbers, especially among women. And the disease is a deadly disease, and people do die, and we have proof. And that was part of our mission, was to create a visual so that people could see that the disease is real. So the graphic design that is a part of our logo shows people, the names of people who have died from the HIV, complications to the HIV/AIDS virus in Greater Cleveland.
Okay, Lois, why is it important for you to give back in this way?
Well, it's been a struggle for me because I've been so involved in the arts for maybe 10, 15 years. And when HIV started becoming prevalent in the black community, it affected a lot of the people that I was close to, performers and artists and things. So it sort of brought an awareness to me that this really could happen to African Americans. When I became aware of HIV, I thought it was something for gay white men out in San Francisco and it wouldn't affect me. But as I've become, more involved in it, I realized that it affects everyone, and especially black women right now. And like Pam, I have a son who's 20 years old, and it's a big concern. So I want to make sure that no one else gets infected.
Okay, and why is it important for you to give back?
Well, I'm also a mother. My son is a little bit older than their sons. But I have grandchildren coming up, and HIV isn't just limited to one group or one sector of people. It it's in the heterosexual community as well. And so it doesn't have a boundary as far as age, sex, race, anything. So anything that you can do to educate people as to what's going on, encouraging them to practice safe sex, to practice sensibly what they need to do, and to go out and get tested.
Okay, let's do this because you guys are mothers and grandmothers. Okay, if your grandson was listening now, what would you guys say to him or her, grandson or daughter, about HIV?
Well, I would tell them to make sure that they practice safer sex whenever they have sex. I would tell them not to share needles with anyone. And that also means tattooing. Like in the prisons, a lot of people get tattooed while they're in jail. And there's only one needle there in jail, and they share that needle. And people don't tend to think about that. The other thing is the bisexuality. There are a lot of men who experiment with having sex with other men and then claim that they're heterosexual anyway and go back and infect women. So I would tell them to just be careful. And I'd also tell them that no one has to be infected with HIV. If you're HIV negative right now, you can stay that way, and it's really up to you. It's your behavior that causes you to become infected, not who you are.
Okay, Pam, if I said to you, Mom, I know all that, what would you say to me?
Well, let me see your condoms. I would really encourage carrying condoms, especially because I have a male son, and I would encourage him to, not get caught up in the moment. And I think that, when you're having a one-on-one and you're talking about it, that's one thing. But when you're out at a party or you're with your friends and you're socializing and everybody's loose and having a good time, that's when you need to be reminded. There needs to be that mental reminder. Mom, the voice in the background saying, "Get my condom," because you don't know. You can't be too trusting. Like we said, AIDS does not have a color. It doesn't have a face, and the most beautiful girl, the most handsome man can be infected, and you not even know it. And they can tell you all kind of good stuff and, baby, I love you, and, you're the only one, and I would never, do anything that would harm you or myself. Don't believe it. Use a condom and get regular testing, and try to have one partner, having a one-on-one relationship with someone will definitely reduce the chances of you ever getting infected if you're both practicing safe sex and you're both getting tested.
Okay, Lois, I guess my question would be, I'm a player, so I got to have more than one.
Okay.
Okay. And for you, as my grandmom, you're just too much in my business. So what would you say to me?
Well,
I understand you're trying to help me, Grandma, but
it's also making seniors aware, because that's one of the other growing populations of HIV and AIDS.
Okay.
Is the senior citizens, because maybe there's one lucky player with a lot of gray hair that's going and visiting a lot of grandmas, and they don't know what's wrong with them. They can't. They're past the age of conception, so they're not worried about using a condom.
The last thing on their mind is catching HIV/AIDS. They're probably saying, "I'm not going to get pregnant.
I'm not going to get pregnant, so I don't need any of this stuff." Okay. So it can happen to anyone, regardless of age, and so, yeah.
So that's a great way of connecting that, Oh, okay. Yeah. What would you say?
Well, player.
player, have plenty of condoms.
That's right. Carry your condoms with you. Make sure that you're prepared all the time. Like Pam said, sometimes you might be out at a party or something. You see this really nice-looking woman and you just want to be with her, but you don't have a condom. You're not going to just say, "Oh, wait, hold on, I'm going to go to the store." Make sure you have them with you. Be prepared. And no, make it a kind of a part of your lifestyle to just have them. Have fresh condoms with you.
And make sure that you check the expiration date. Don't carry them in your wallet, because you could damage the packaging and actually damage the condom. And for condom education, you can go to Project Safe. And
how to put one on, how to use it properly.
Point. Yeah, they teach you how to put one on and what to look for. Checking the expiration date.
Okay, this is kind of complicated for a young person. So you can't carry it in your wallet. Where can you carry it?
Well, it would have to be in something loose. I mean, you can't carry it in your pocket either. I mean,
Not tight jeans.
Right.
Okay, I'm making it hard. Come on.
I know.
But the guys with the baggy pants, they should be cool. There's plenty of room in those
Well, there are
pockets.
those little keychains too that have the condom, a space for a condom in them.
Okay.
That would be a good
Keychains are
place
cool.
to keep it. Yeah. I mean, you can keep it in your wallet. You just can't keep it in there for more than a couple of weeks. That's
Okay.
the problem. Because you sit on it and the heat
Right.
kind of messes up the latex.
Okay, what would you say to those young people or anyone who they don't have time to use it?
They don't have time.
They don't have time. They got the condom there. They know the spill, but they get caught up in the heat of the
It
moment.
takes 5 seconds. I mean, how could they not have the time? It's important. I mean, it's like...
It's a life or death issue.
Right,
I mean, maybe we should do a close-up of the names on this one. As I would first of all ask a young person, do you know anyone who's died from the HIV/AIDS virus? I think realizing that you can die from this virus will make you become more aware, and then share that information with your friends. You know that it's real.
Okay. I guess my question is, we talk to adults about the same issues, and a lot of times adults don't use condoms.
Exactly.
What would we say to encourage
The kids.
the kids?
Why would they
It's
be
really-
different?
Well, like Pam said, it really is a life or death issue. I mean, even though you see people walking around, you know, saying they're HIV positive and they look fine, it doesn't mean that their life is the same as it was before they were infected. And they probably will die. They will come in contact with some complications along the way, and it's just not something you want to do. And if you can avoid it, do whatever you can to avoid it.
Okay, suppose I'm a young man and she doesn't want to use it. Mom,
Then you
she
can't
doesn't-
go there.
I like her, Mom.
Then you really can't go there. Because do you value your own life?
It's my first love. She sent me a card,
She's not the
candy.
woman for you.
Then she has no respect of you.
she has no
Well, she
respect
doesn't
for
do it
herself.
That's the other thing.
Okay, but all my friends are going to call me names.
Your friends aren't going to know, because if you're having a one-on-one with this lady, she shouldn't be telling her friends what you guys are doing.
But I may
anyway.
tell.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're going to stretch the truth a little bit, player.
So I can save face by,
Well,
what can I do?
That's a hard one. I mean, you just have to express to her how important it is. You have to use condoms whenever you have sex. I mean, maybe she wants to use a female condom. That's an alternative.
Okay, but Chris and Harold are my boys. So what am I going to say? Dude, she wouldn't...
You don't have to say anything. You just come back smiling. She
say, "I
they
got
won't know.
They're not gonna. They're there with you. They're not gonna know.
It's a
So I don't
private
know.
conversation
Okay.
with her.
That's right.
And you know what? If a woman refused to allow you to put on a condom, I would really question that woman. I mean, I would be very, very concerned about her, because if she was resistant with you, then she's been resistant with other people. And, you know, and that would be somebody I'd want to go get
And
tested.
she would be unsafe to have sex with.
You know,
Right.
Okay.
And it's not just HIV. There's other sexually transmitted diseases too.
a whole lot of things you don't want to catch.
Not to mention she could get pregnant. So.
Okay. So what you tell the young ladies who go through that? The guy doesn't want to use a condom.
Oh, that's hard. I mean, you just have to tell him. I mean, it's just too important, and you have enough respect for yourself to say, I'm going to protect myself. You just have to. It's too important not to.
I mean, he hitting her with the baby, I love you, Luther Vandross, Teddy Pendergrass,
Don't
R.
believe it.
Kelly.
Right.
Pull that condom out of her purse. I
Right.
say, make sure you stay stocked with condoms. you
So it's
know.
okay for
So, yeah, a woman
ladies
to pull
to-
it out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She
In fact,
could put it
that's
on.
terrible.
It's part of her responsibility of self-respect for herself to carry him, to make sure that if she gets in that situation, that she's prepared.
Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to take a music break. We're going to listen to a song by Coolio called Too Hot. Once again, we'll be back. Thank you.
Everybody listen up, cause I'm about to get my speak on. Fools be tripping when it's time to get their freak on. Running around town, putting it down.